So Matthew Karch, CEO of Saber Interactive, just said this: "When we signed the deal to make Space Marine 2, all I wanted was a throwback game. I can't even comprehend many of the current games that we play these days. They're too complex and too much of an investment. We worked on Halo back in the day, and that game could be distilled down to the simplest of shooting loops, but it was entirely addicting. That is what we wanted to recapture. I hope that games like Space Marine 2 are the start of a revision of a time when games were simply about fun and immersion. We just want to do some glory kills and get the heart rate up a little. For me, that's what games should be about." Except he didn't say that. In fact, that comment is not from Matthew at all. It's from someone pretending to be Matthew. So why did everyone latch onto this so fast? I mean, this comment spread like wildfire the second it was posted. So many people bought into this. Well, I think fake or not, that comment spoke to people on a massive scale because it's a perfect mirror of the public's attitude towards AAA game developers right now. They're not making games, they're selling products. Products designed to maximize profits, keep players spending money, and above all else, please shareholders. I think a lot of people felt validated, felt seen to see the CEO of one of the most praised games of this year talk about how games aren't made to be fun anymore. People are tired. After years of games built around season passes and microtransactions, unfinished garbage released way too early, and the same hero shooter reskinned 100 times over. Audiences have been begging for games to just be fun again. And man, Space Marine 2 came right in and said, "Heretics be damned, the codex doesn't allow for any bullshit in this game." So let's talk about Space Marine 2. This game has done everything right. The developers clearly poured a lot of love into it. The scale is massive, the gameplay is fun, and the best part is, the game makes you feel like a Space Marine. While other games like Halo and Doom have nailed the Super Soldier experience before, Space Marine 2 is a refreshing return to this formula. And it has co-op. Saber Interactive nailed the power fantasy. From how you talk, walk, and fight, everything feels spot on. When you combine a passionate team with a clear central vision, you get a game like this. Yet creating a game this immersive doesn't happen without facing some serious challenges, and Space Marine 2's development was far from straightforward. Saber Interactive, founded in 2001 by Andrew Ionis, Matthew Karch, and Anton Krupkin, has quietly become a force in the gaming world. Their journey started with Will Rock, but they quickly transitioned to handling some of gaming's biggest names. Ever play the Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary or dive into the Master Chief Collection? That's Saber Interactive's handiwork. Their love for revisiting iconic titles doesn't stop there. They also brought The Witcher 3 to the Nintendo Switch and created the mechanically impressive World War Z game. Saber Interactive are masters at blending nostalgia and innovation, bringing timeless experiences to both longtime fans and new players alike. Having already breathed new life into iconic franchises, Saber Interactive turned their attention to a project that would push their talents even further: the resurrection of the Space Marine series. It wasn't just another project to them, it was a chance to breathe new life into a fan favorite, and give the loyal Warhammer community something truly special. They already had the perfect tool for the job. The swarm mechanic from World War Z was absolutely perfect for Warhammer. This technology, designed to make hordes of enemies act as one coherent mob, was a dream come true for capturing the feel of the Tyranids. Saber understood the weight of expectations from fans who have been waiting for the perfect Space Marine experience. And with this mechanic, they knew they could deliver in-game fights that felt larger than life, giving players the unforgettable thrill of mowing down endless Tyranid swarms in the name of the Emperor. Developing Space Marine 2 was no small feat. Warhammer 40k's massive scale posed challenges that tested Saber Interactive's technical capabilities. The sheer number of assets that needed to be rendered, from enormous swarms of Tyranids to expansive battlefields, led to performance issues early on in development. Although the game was ready to release about a year ago, Saber's decision to delay it and focus on optimization was crucial. The result? It's a game that looks and feels enormous while running incredibly smoothly. Tim Willits, with his clear vision for large-scale warfare, played a pivotal role in this stage of the game's development. He imagined battles where players could zoom in and see finely detailed models, only to zoom out and witness the overwhelming rush of enemies heading towards them. Thanks to Saber's swarm technology, that vision came to life. Willits just didn't want to replicate the grandeur of 40k, he wanted players to feel it on the battlefield, and his direction made it possible to balance visual fidelity with epic scale. But the game's success isn't just about swarms and graphics. Creative director Oliver Hollis brought the heart and soul of Warhammer into the project. From the very start, Hollis immersed himself in the lore, reading Know No Fear and studying the tabletop game. His deep understanding of the universe guided the team into making everything from the story to the customization options authentic. Players can tweak every detail of their Space Marines, reflecting Hollis' desire to give fans a true Warhammer experience, both narratively and visually. Matthew Karch, Saber's CEO, brought everything together with this focus on simplicity. Drawing inspiration from the cooperative fun of Halo's early days, Karch wanted to create a game that was easy to dive into, but still rich with depth. His directive was to avoid the overcomplication that plagues many modern games and bring back the good old days of gaming, where you could feel powerful without micromanaging every little stat. By steering the game towards this philosophy, Karch unified the efforts of Willits and Hollis, ensuring that the game remained focused and fun. The collaboration between these three visionaries, along with the dedicated efforts of the entire Saber Interactive team, is what makes Space Marine 2 truly special. Willits captured the scale, Hollis brought the heart, and Karch ensured the experience remained grounded in pure fun. But it wasn't just them. Every department at Saber Interactive, from design and art to engineering and sound, played a crucial role in modernizing the franchise while bringing back the nostalgic feel of classic games like Halo. Together, this incredible team created a game that feels both fresh and timeless, proving that when passion meets collaboration, the results are extraordinary. And you can feel this team's passion in the game's mechanics. At the heart of Space Marine 2's gameplay is one simple truth. You're not just playing as a Space Marine, you are a Space Marine. I can almost guarantee if you could flip through the game design document, make the player feel like a Space Marine would be in massive, bold letters. The biggest indicator, the way you walk and wield that bolt pistol. Space Marines are famous for this hunch forward, extended arm stance and firing their bolters. It's this perfect iconic move that just screams power. In Space Marine 2, the second you hit that trigger, boom, it fires instantly, and it feels unbelievably satisfying. This isn't just limited to shooting. The animation seamlessly carries over to the glory kill mechanic. When you stagger an enemy, you can finish them off with your pistol in this cinematic glory kill that also restores your armor. It's not just visually stunning, but also keeps you alive in the heat of battle. This is very similar to Doom's glory kill system, which is all about keeping you in the fight, and it does this by giving you health on glory kills and armor drops when using the chainsaw. But what's even more brilliant is that during this kill animation, you're completely invincible. This little window of safety lets you breathe, regain your confidence, and prepare for whatever comes next. It's the brief moment of invulnerability that turns a desperate situation into a triumphant comeback. Space Marine 2 takes this concept and gives it a twist. When you execute a glory kill on a Tyranid or a traitor, you don't get health back, instead you restore some armor. That armor gain, combined with the brief invincibility during the kill animation, gives you that crucial breather, helping you stay in the thick of combat just a little bit longer. It's a brilliant way to keep the action flowing and make you feel like a true super soldier. That's what makes Space Marine 2 so incredible. It's not just about keeping you alive, it's about making you feel unstoppable. The glory kill mechanic perfectly reinforces the power fantasy, giving you those epic comeback moments that makes you feel like a true Space Marine. This is especially important because in Space Marine 2, you are dropped right into the thick of combat, and I'm talking massive all-out war. You're surrounded by enemies, and it's up to you to change the outcome. Every time a guardsman looks up at you and calls you his angels, you feel like the Emperor's chosen. It's the ultimate power trip. You feel like you're making a genuine difference, that you're the hero the guardsmen have been waiting for. And here's the best part. Saber Interactive is the same team that helped recreate the Master Chief Collection, so it makes total sense that the game feels this way. It took me back to those old school Halo vibes, where I do everything in my power to keep my Marines safe. And now, I'm carrying that same energy into Space Marine 2. My guardsmen are my special little babies, and I'm not gonna let anything hurt them. Wait, what was I talking about again? The weapons in Space Marine 2 are kind of a mixed bag. The melee options, phenomenal. You feel the power behind each swing, but the bolt guns, they tend to blend together after a while, which is a bit of a letdown. However, the plasma and melta guns are absolutely amazing. The plasma gun is perfect for picking up single high-value targets, while the melta gun is surprisingly really good versus hordes of smaller enemies. What makes this even more exciting is how the developers chose to hide some of the more interesting weapon options and abilities behind operations mode. You got 6 different classes, each that brings something unique to the table. The Bulwark class, for example, wields a shield and a power fist, things you won't find in the campaign. It's such a genius way of encouraging players to explore every part of the game, and it feels like Saber Interactive really respects us by not just spoon-feeding us all the content. Space Marine 2 nails one of the most overlooked aspects in modern gaming: cooperative PVE. This game is a breath of fresh air. Lately, it feels like everyone's been chasing competitive multiplayer. And while there's something wrong with that, games like Deadlock in the Finals have been great. There has been an oversaturation though. And that's why seeing games like Space Marine 2, Deep Rock Galactic, and Helldivers rise to popularity feels so good. What's even more interesting is these games all share the same themes and sci-fi premise. It's almost like we're finally rediscovering the joy of teaming up against overwhelming odds, instead of always fighting each other. Remember the older classics like Halo and Left 4 Dead? They set the foundation, and now it feels like we're finally seeing that formula return. PvE just hits different. It's less stressful, more engaging, and frankly, it's where some of the most unforgettable gaming memories come from. I mean, who doesn't remember struggling to push a warthog down a hallway in Halo with your friends? Space Marine 2 could be the push we need to bring these co-op experiences back to the forefront, and I'm all here for it. The story of Space Marine 2 is simple, but it totally gets the job done. You're fighting the Tyranids, the mechanic is find a weapon to stop them, and then surprise! Chaos shows up, hoping to use the weapon for their own dark purposes. You take them down, and the day is saved. Now let's be real, this isn't a plot that's gonna win any awards for storytelling, but that's not a bad thing. Sometimes you just need a straightforward narrative that lets you jump right into the action. And let's face it, it's the perfect excuse to dive into a sea of Tyranids and traitors. What really shines in Space Marine 2 are those little details that elevate the experience. The Dreadnought moments, perfect. Calgar's arrival with the First Company, absolute peak. And that banner last stand, while a little ridiculous, a great homage to old 40k art. It all adds layers of excitement that makes your actions feel impactful in this vast Warhammer universe. So while the main plot might not be groundbreaking, it sets the stage for some incredible gameplay. This game has deepened my appreciation for the expansive Warhammer universe. The game effectively focuses on the Ultramarines, Tyranids, and Thousand Suns, while also incorporating numerous nods to the broader lore that longtime fans will appreciate. One of these standout moments is the gameplay as a Deathwatch captain, where you interact with Space Marines from different chapters. Even though you become separated from your squad, the dialogue over Vox provides snapshots of their unique personalities and highlights the characteristics of their individual chapters. For example, a few lines of banter can hint at the fierce zeal of the Black Templars or the ferocity of the Space Wolves, all of which make the universe feel alive and interconnected. This interaction encourages players to think about the other factions, like the Tau, Eldar, Necrons, and Orcs. It emphasizes how vast and rich this universe truly is. This game is the perfect introduction for new fans. It offers enough context to spark interest while also rewarding veterans with intricate details. It's heartening to see more individuals becoming involved in this hobby, and I hope this game paves the way for further exploration of the Warhammer 40k universe in future titles. No game is perfect, but honestly, I'm surprised about how little complaints I have about this game. Like, I wish it was a little bit longer, which isn't something to hold the game back on. It's more of a compliment, really. Like, it's so good, I just want more. And the good news is, they are going to add more operations in the future anyways, so there is more coming. My only true complaint is the higher difficulty levels feel really bad if you're playing solo. For the record, I do like challenging games, but when it starts to feel unfair, that's when there's an issue. In Space Marine 2, it's so hard to heal your HP, it makes higher difficulties where enemies are tankier and deal more damage more frustrating than a proper challenge. Playing online with friends does help with this issue, as most of the problem I had was when I was solo and my AI partners were, well, less than helpful. Space Marine 2 is nothing short of amazing. It captures everything I love about Warhammer in a single, unforgettable experience. This game stands out as one of my favorite gaming moments in a long time. I genuinely believe we're witnessing a shift towards high-quality gaming experiences. If this is your first dive into the Warhammer universe, you're in for an incredible journey. Anyways, thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments which game I should dive into next. See you all next time.